right, we're here with an afternoon live stream. If you're tuning in, you're going to see that this looks different than any other live stream we've ever done. And it's in honor of the More Than Cars Super Bowl Charity Smackdown. I don't know if it's called event, whatever it is that we concepted yesterday morning, we executed, and now here we are doing it. I have 3 Eagles fans and a very respectable Bills fan on today. This is the team that's representing stream companies who, from the very beginning, I texted David Regn. I said, here's what I'm thinking. Are you in? Actually, I included Subi on that text too, because I know if you want anything done, you have to include Subi. and so I texted, and David, in lightning fashion, right? Sometimes it's hard to get a response for him, but he texted, I'm in.
I'm in. No
right,
question.
right. So Subi, so here's, for those of you who don't know what's going on, if you go to ASOTU's LinkedIn right now, or if you just go to ASOTU.com/Super Bowl, we just figured the auto industry is good at a few things: being competitive and helping people. So we thought this was a great time and opportunity to do that around the Super Bowl. Everyone's got a favorite. Everyone's got an opinion. A lot of people place bets and wagers. So we thought, how can we leverage this moment to actually help people, which is what the auto industry does best. So we partnered with one of our favorite charities, Vehicles for Change, who provides training to formerly incarcerated, trains them to be ASE-certified techs, and then places them at dealerships with a huge success rate. And then they also recondition cars and they give them away to people who have transportation needs. Beautiful charity. So here's how the whole thing works. You go to that URL, ASOTU.com/Super Bowl, which takes you to a LinkedIn post. You then go in the comments and you place a friendly, we'll call it a wager or a bet. It's actually a donation commitment to Vehicles for Change. And you say which team you want to win. If your team loses, AKA you lose the bet, you donate the money via the link on the website to Vehicles for Change. A lot of people are going to donate the money anyway. And we please hope you talk a little smack while you're in the comments. Thus far, we've raised thousands of dollars already. Somebody actually donated a car to Vehicles for Change we haven't even talked about yet. They reached out privately and said, I'm going to donate a car. Stream is one of the companies we're partnering with. Also, NCM, Automotive Ventures, and VinQ. Stream was one of the first on board to say yes to help get the word out. Subi, why do you think David said yes so fast to this?
Probably because he's a huge Eagles fan and he's a huge automotive industry fan. So if you kind of combine those two things together, it's hard for him to say no. So he definitely wants to help any way that he can, and he's very competitive. So he wants that Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Oh, yes, he does. He don't be around Monday if they lose. You have a Bills jersey on, so why do you have a Bills jersey on?
Because I'm wearing the MVP's jersey, and because I'm a bitter Betty about not being in the Super Bowl and having the refs work against us. So I'm hoping for the Eagles that it's easier to take them all down for you guys
at once. Yes. So, I mean, just her Subi's first comments, you're much closer to an Eagles fan than you think. Being bitter, blaming the refs, right? Fusing the lose. It's all the good things. Why don't you introduce us to, introduce everybody to the team that you brought on? Because these are all stream team members. Rocking, there's a lot of green on the screen.
Lots of green. Our future CRO, Sophie, and her dad, Steve, EVP of Agency Growth. Elliot Barbell, who is Director of Sales. And Drew Deal, who is SVP of Digital. And these 3 I go to for so many things. They help me with all of the latest and greatest in dealer strategy and digital, and they're incredible, and I love working with them. However, I did have the pleasure of watching an Eagles game with them a couple of years back in Dallas at NACA, and was definitely a unique experience.
And questioning your employment choices, right? You're like, is this really? Yeah, it's amazing. I'm going to go down the line. Steve, how long have you been an Eagles fan, and why are you an Eagles fan?
I've been an Eagles fan. I moved up here when I was like 11. I kind of.
From where? Where'd you move from?
From Atlanta, actually. And
who needs
you
the
become
Falcons,
inundated, right? Like absolutely inundated with Eagles stuff.
She's like, I want to be on this live stream, Rocket City.
Yeah, she's just woke up from a nap, so we're getting hyped up right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I when I moved up here, like everybody's just such diehard fans. It's hard to not like just have that take over. And that's right about the time I was probably like really diving into sports. So I am a Philly sports fan through and through.
It's an amazing town to be a sports fan. How about you, Elliot?
Yeah, been an Eagles fan for all 27 years of my life. My family is season ticket holders. My grandfather went to the 1960 NFL championship game, watched the Eagles take home the Super Bowl before it was the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then experienced the, 52-year drought up until 2017. So been through, all the downs and some of the ups, but been a diehard Eagles fan my whole life.
Ever since. Last but not least, Drew.
I think I was born. Well, I know I was born during the 1993 World Series where Joe Carter infamously hit the home run that ruined everyone's hopes.
I remember. I watched that game live, a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Since then, I think it was probably a bad start to my career as a sports fan.
Took a while to come back around.
But yeah, same with Elliot, just my entire life. Grew up in southeastern Pennsylvania, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
It's infectious around here. If you grow up around here, you grow up a Birds fan.
It is. I tell people, because I live in Syracuse, New York now, and I moved up. I've been up here for 20 years now, but I was born in South Philly, like a mile from the stadiums. And I tell people, like, you don't understand. You have no choice. It is literally part of, just like people come from a country, right? And you're like, this is where I'm from. It's like this. You're like, if you're born into being a Philly sports fan or an Eagles fan, I do a lot of apologizing, honestly, for other Eagles fans. And I'm like, I hope that somehow, some way, like I can redeem, like, no, everyone isn't that obnoxious. Like, So, look, we're doing this thing for the auto industry. We're all a part of it. We all get to interact with dealerships every single day and what they're doing. Can you just tell me a little bit? I'm going to go Steve, Elliot, and Drew again. We're going to finish up with you, Subi. How would you summarize dealers' perspective toward their communities?
I think it's one of the biggest aspects of what it is that they and that we do every single day. When we meet with dealers, a lot of times we're talking strategies and we're talking ways to increase sales. And then as we're having those conversations, more and more, things about the community, things that they want to fix come up. And a lot of times they don't even want to put it out there that they're doing it. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. And I think that that's so cool that a lot of these dealers who have the means to help the community, really put the community first over, anything else.
Elliot, next up.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to echo a lot of what Steve.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to, like, he just said it all, right?
But no, I mean, he really hit the nail on the head. I mean, the dealerships that we work with are, so ingrained in the communities that they, work within. We see it all the time with, local sports sponsorships and things like that. And then utilizing, those partnerships to help out with other charitable efforts that their partners are then working with. So, it's really such a tight knit community in automotive, but then automotive, each one of those dealers is within their own tight communities in their own local area. So, it's awesome to see.
Last but not least, is there anything left?
Yeah, I think dealers really feel like local small businesses, no matter what group they're a part of, or, if it's a publicly traded company, that individual rooftop is so ingrained, that the people live in the community, they work in the community. As Steve and Elliot said, like, they're so involved in the community events that we really propose and are proponents of everyone at a dealership share, be social on social media, have fun, and really live kind of the community values through and through. And I think it's something dealers are so good at, and sometimes they overlook it because it's just part of their lives. They don't necessarily monetize or use it for anything.
Sometimes they don't even realize how good they are at it,
I think that's really true. That's really true. Subi, we're going to give you the final word.
Oh, that's too much pressure.
All right, I'll close it. But the final word before I'm like, blah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and I ended up, my very first dealership was a small independent lot that I may have overlooked so many times on the way to school my entire life. And then when I accidentally ended up there and got a job there, I learned how deeply involved the Basel Automotive Group was to every single part of things that I had touched growing up. and how much they contributed to my community. And it wasn't until that I saw that. So I think it's everything that everyone has said, but I don't think the communities know how much these auto champions really of their communities do for the baseball teams, the schools, the food shelters, the women's shelters, all of that. And I think this is a great thing that you're doing to bring our community together. But this is just so much a part of the DNA of everybody and everything that I know about this industry, which is why, you can accidentally fall into auto, but it's not letting you go.
Well, you can't accidentally fall out of it for sure. I can't think there's not another industry in the country at this scale that has this level of impact. I can't think of another one that is even left in the country beside auto dealers, which is such a beautiful thing. Going round robin, score predictions. Steve.
All right. 27-24. Of course, the Birds.
The Birds. Elliot.
32-14 Eagles.
Whoa. Okay, Drew.
So high scoring. 2013.
Okay.
Eagles, of course.
Okay. And Sumi, this is the one that probably counts because you have the least dog in the fight.
I'm going to go, I think it's going to be a close game. And I'm going to go 21-14, and then the refs at least 7.
Oh, I can't think of a better way
No
to
field goals.
I can't. Yeah. Oh, don't even talk. We're not counting on any field goals if you're an Eagles fan. We barely could count on an extra point these days. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being a part of this movement. And everyone else, we want you to go to ASOTU.com/Super Bowl. Get in the comments, place your bet, talk a little trash. And the best thing is, whether we win or we lose, a lot of people through Vehicles for Change are going to win. So good luck. We'll see what happens, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.